He did it again. Who am I talking about? Oliver Anthony. He is on fire right now. I did a review earlier on our YouTube channel about his not breaking, but just blowing up controversial song, Richmond, North of Richmond. Hey everybody, my name is Tammy. This is Therapy Talk with Tammy and Pauline. My friend and I have this YouTube channel talking everything and anything around mental health, and this song definitely has a mental health punch. At the beginning part of the song lyric,
if it weren't for my old dogs and the good Lord, they'd have me strung up in the psych ward.
End quote. So basically, it feels like he's saying without God and his dogs, he would be in the psych ward. So working in mental health, this often happens when people who are severely depressed, they try to look for like some positives going on in their life, and that's a really good thing. What we look for in the mental health field is if you're severely depressed and you're having any kind of suicidal thoughts, that what are some good things going for you? What are some good things that get you up and going in the morning? What are some things that make you feel good? And so for him, this first part of the lyric is stating, hey, for my own mental health, thank God I have God, and thank God I have dogs. Otherwise, I might go crazy. So what is depression? Depression really is a complex mental health condition that affects millions worldwide. It's more just feeling sad or going through a rough patch in life. It's that persistent feeling of sadness or hopelessness or lack of interest or pleasure in activities that one used to enjoy and now maybe not so much they enjoy doing anymore. Symptoms can vary a lot from person to person, but here are some common signs. Some signs can include persistent feeling of sadness, emptiness, or loneliness. 2, loss of interest and pleasure of doing activities they used to like to do, but now they don't. Changes in appetite, which can lead to either weight loss or weight gain. Difficulty sleeping or sleeping too much. Fatigue, loss of energy, feelings of worthlessness or excessive guilt and shame. Difficulty concentrating, making decisions, or remembering things. It can include restlessness or irritability. It can also include physical symptoms such as headache, stomach ache, body aches for no apparent reason, like you can't pinpoint why. Or it could include thoughts of death. It's important to say that though experiencing symptoms for a short term doesn't mean that somebody has depression. You have to go to a person like me or somebody else's license to get that clinical diagnosis. But typically we look to see if somebody has those symptoms for more than 2 weeks. Then they get evaluation and then they get appropriate diagnosis. Remember, if you are depressed, you are not alone, and that there's plenty of people out there that you could reach out for help. Let's look at the next round of lyrics.
'Cause every day living in this new world is one too many days to me.
End quote. Yikes.
I do feel like what he's talking about is something that I personally experienced with my mom. On our channel, there's something called the Dementia Diaries, and I think that I can relate to this a little bit because when my mom, let me go back a little bit. My dad died in 2011, and it was at that point she had stated that the Lord is going to want her to be here on earth for us kids and whatever for 10 years. So she had that in her head. So she has dementia, and she was living with me. And I tell you what, that last year up until that date that she had in her head, she talked about how much she wanted to die every single day, multiple times a day. And she was even getting rid of things to prepare for that. And it wasn't as if she was suicidal. I don't see it that way at all. I see that, you know what? I've lived a good life. I have a good life, and I'm just ready for that next phase of my life. And she was ready to be with the Lord, and she was ready to be with my dad. So there's a certain aspect of this song. I'm like, I think what he's saying is he's not suicidal, but he's just like, Lord, if you want to take me, please take me. And he has some sort of an acceptance of what his life is going to be like on the other side, like life after death. And I know that's probably going to like stir up a lot of people's thoughts and feelings on that, like what do we feel like after death, but I feel like that's kind of what he's saying. But I'm applying my own beliefs and my own like experiences, especially with my mom, and I'm kind of applying it to that. But you guys might definitely have a different perspective, and your perspective is okay. That's the whole thing about, let me catch the sun here. The whole thing about having an opinion is we're all entitled to have an opinion. Next quote.
Son, we're on the brink of the next world war, and I don't think nobody's praying no more, and I ain't saying I know it for sure. I'm just down on my knees begging the Lord to take me home.
So when I listen to that, I feel like, for one, it breaks my heart. It feels like he is super sad. This lyrics like this is definitely from someone who's experienced loss, and they just want to give up. It feels like he is feeling helpless and hopeless, and maybe like, why bother with everything? Like, nothing's the same anymore. It seems like he's losing faith in himself and others and society, and for sure government. And he's on his knees praying. He's praying for a change, and he's just feeling very defeated that he feels like nobody else is on their knees praying. Next quote of lyrics.
I just know I didn't used to wake up feeling this way, cussing myself every damn day. People have really gone and lost their way. They all just do what the TV say.
So I feel like he's saying that he's conflicted on which way to go, which way to turn to. He doesn't like the way he wakes up in the morning. He doesn't like his attitude or his mood. And he just wakes up feeling, it sounds like he's just super defeated.
To me, it definitely feels like he's losing hope. If I heard this in therapy, I would think this person could be suicidal, and I would start problem solving ways to keep them safe. And I would ask them things like, do you have a plan to end your life? Do you want to kill yourself? Questions like that. And just so you know, when you ask somebody questions like that, a lot of people worry that it's going to put the
suicide in their head, and typically that's not the case. If somebody truly is suicidal, they will have a plan, they will have an action plan, and they will have details about that. So that's when you know for sure that you need to get this person help right away, immediately. So if you have somebody who's having some suicidal thoughts or suicidal ideations, or they have suicidal plans, ask them what their plan is to kill themselves, and then follow it up with a couple other questions about that, like when, where, with what, and things like that. And if it's detailed in any second or any little minute way, you're going to want to get them help. You can call Suicide Hotline. You can take them to the emergency room or call 911. Anything to get them help, and you need to get them help immediately. And it definitely feels like he is really sick of media warping people's brains and warping them to think a certain way, that they are influencing us too much and people aren't using their own thoughts for themselves. Next round of lyrics.
4 generations farming the ground. Grandson sells to a man out of town. And 2 weeks later, the trees go down. Only got concrete growing around.
End quote. This just keeps getting sadder and sadder, doesn't it? So people are selling family farms, trees are being chopped down, and farmland is just disappearing, and what's going up in its place is concrete. Just really upset about maybe losing the old ways that we used to have with farming and growing our own stuff and our own meat, and just corporate world is just taking over everything. So in my opinion, this is probably one of the most honest lyrics I have heard in a very long time. I love his voice. I love the music. I love the rawness of him standing probably on his land. He sings with such conviction, and his words are really hitting home for a lot of people. I think we can all relate to living in a world that we didn't used to live in. And I know I was having some thoughts earlier, like, this is not the world that I planned for when my kids were born. And now I'm really super, like, I don't know if I should say anxious, but I'm super, like, not comfortable with where things are going, and I'm really, really scared for the next generation. And I have grandbabies, and I'm like really scared what this world is going to look like in 5, 10, 15 years if things are bad right now. But then there's a flip side of me as a mental health therapist, and I don't want to think doom and gloom all the time. I want to be optimistic. I want to believe the best in people. I want to have faith, and I do have faith in God. And I know that fear projects fear. So if we start being scared of stuff, that's what our mind is going to be like focused on, and that's what's going to happen is we're going to be like layering our fear on top of fear, and that's not good for us to do either. So what do we do? I don't know, you guys. I'm just as lost with this whole concept as much as you are, and as much as Oliver Anthony is. These lyrics are amazing. I really enjoy this song as far as like I just love the vulnerability and the way he's presenting himself, and this really truly feels that this who he is. I don't know who this guy is. He's all of a sudden came up out of nowhere, but I love his bluegrass feel, and it reminds me of kind of like Chris Stapleton, kind of like Bailey Zimmerman vibe. Anyway, what do you guys think of this song? What do you think of the lyrics? Do you think that he is depressed? Do you think that he's depicting that he's depressed? Or is this just a song and it's just like a regular schmegular song that somebody just put out there? Let me know your thoughts. I'm really interested to hear. Thanks a lot. Come back later as we talk more about mental health. Wait. 1 minute. Don't go yet. If you are depressed or you know somebody who is depressed, please reach out and get help. This is nothing to kid around about. It's nothing to like, oh, I'll just wait a little bit. If you are sad, if you are depressed, reach out for help. Whether that means a hotline or going to a counseling office or going to your doctor or chiropractor, whoever it is, a friend that you trust. If you're feeling sad or depressed or having suicidal ideations, which means suicidal thoughts, please get help. Now I'm signing off. Bye, guys.